Our next speaker is the co-owner of All That Matters. She's an active community supporter and is excited about helping making the world a healthier place, one person, one community at a time. She believes that inner peace leads to world peace, and that is all that really matters. Please welcome Joan Dwyer to the stage.
Hi. Shortly after the Syrian revolution began in 2011, I felt a calling to put a new face on Syria. Most people perceive Syria to look like this. I'm not sure I should be the face of Syria, but I could be. All four of my grandparents were born in Syria. I was brought up in Paterson, New Jersey, in a small section that was labeled Little Syria. My grandfather, at the age of 13, came into Ellis Island and was sent to Paterson because there was work in the silk mills. Syria is facing really challenging times, and explaining that would take way more than the 5 minutes allotted. So tonight I would like to just share some stories to connect you to Syria, because I believe people caring about people can change the world, and that awareness is an important element towards peace. In 2010, I had the opportunity to go to Syria. It didn't take me long to see Syria is an amazing place with treasures and sophistication. Syria is rich in diversity, it's rich in art, archaeology, history, geography, and food. But its biggest asset is its people. They are just beautiful. They are kind, they are spirited, they are proud and loving people, and they love their family. And once you meet them, you are family. My daughter Eva was shopping on the streets of Syria and in Damascus, and she got lost, and she went up to a family and said, "I'm lost," and she had to mime it because they couldn't speak English and she couldn't speak Syrian. They brought her into her house, they had tea, they offered her to have dinner with her, they made their young son walk her all the way to her doorstep. That is not unique to Syria, that is Syria. They are amazing people. I asked our guide when we were there if he could take me a place where they made food the way I had it as a child, the way my mother cooked. And 3.5 hours later, we're sitting in someone's house, this house right here, and this little girl performed for us, and all the food I wanted was laid out for us. This is Syria. It's an amazing, amazing place. Syria is part of the Middle East. It is the size of New England. The language spoken is Arabic. It borders on Jordan, Iraq, Israel, and Lebanon, and Turkey. 90% of the Syrians are Muslim, and 10% of the Christians. Part of the reasons my family had to leave was because they were Christian during a time of war. Syria is lush with produce like pomegranates and dates and apricots and wheat, and it has mountains and it has deserts. While in the largest city of Syria, Aleppo, known for their cuisine, we walk through the souks, or covered markets. There's over 6 miles of them. They're way cooler than our malls. Families have been selling in their stalls for centuries. Much of that is now bombed. I recently spoke with our driver and guide who shared that the Syria that I saw is no longer. He's a Bedouinian man, a man whose family for generations traveled with camels or trucks to live off the land. This is the tent that we went to visit some of his family members. They all welcomed us one morning for tea, and the young man in the jacket, on the end, he even offered to marry my niece Josephine. She speaks Arabic and is active in Human Rights Project. I love this picture because it's one of thousands you see across the country of President Assad. But in this picture, Josie is the star, the civil rights activist. She's here tonight, so if you'd like to know more about Syria, she's your woman to speak to. We saw deserts and ruins and beautiful, majestic ruins. This is Palmyra. Palmyra was one of the most advanced cities in the world in the 3rd century before Christ. It was located on the east and west trading route. We walked on streets that Jesus walked on in Damascus, the oldest continuously inhabited city in the world. People lived there 6,300 years before Jesus. We drove through the desert and climbed the 350 steps to Del Mar Musa Monastery, which was just recently discovered by a French Jesuit on his own pilgrimage. It is now a mecca for travelers of all religions, and some of the artwork there was designed in the year 100. I met a bit more about Syria, about the Syrian people. They are policed people. They live in fear because 1 in every 5 are Secret Service or spies, and you can quickly be detained or imprisoned. We met with many families who had families in prisons just for their beliefs. We were told not to talk about politics or religion openly. Hence the beginning of the Arab Rising. Hence people risking their lives for freedom. Hence the beginning of this crazy civil unrest, where over 4 million people, more than 4 times the population of Rhode Island, have been displaced, and 125,000 have been killed. When I was young and mentioned Syria, people would say, "Where is that?" and look at me quizzically. Now thoughts of Syria evoke fear and confusion. I hope today, in some small way, I was able to put a new face on Syria and to ignite your curiosity and your compassion. If you're interested in supporting some way Syrian human rights, I put some papers out at the front desk on what you can do.